But no, this was it was nice to see a lot of people out here. I hope some of them were here to see the Cyclones. I'm sure most of them were here to see Daisuke, to see a big leaguer in their backyard here in Brooklyn. But it was a great game to watch. I mean, I'm a baseball fan myself, so aside from managing it, it was a real good baseball game to watch because it was a clean game. It was well pitched by both sides. I think everybody could sense early on it was going to be a real low-scoring game, and unfortunately we got a couple hits at the right time to punch a couple across and come away with a W. But the biggest thing, development for tonight, obviously for the New York Mets, was the continued rehab of Daisuke. And I'm sure the Mets are going to be very pleased with how he threw, his command, his stuff, and most important of all, when he came out after 72 pitches, he said he felt great. And so that's real good. So it's another big step in his rehab. And so what else you got?
Yeah, but now you look at the big picture for your own team. You know, you're in the heat of a playoff race, and you know, granted, your pitching has been great, especially the starters. But just how much of a boost is it to get, you know, a savvy veteran Daisuke in here right in the time for the playoff run?
Well, yeah, that's for our team it was huge, and from a development standpoint, yeah, we got 17 pitchers on our staff here, and for them to get a chance to see an established big leaguer, you know, just like when Dylan G was here, for them to get a chance to watch him warm up, how he goes about his business, how he pitches, his balance point on the rubber, and his ability to take the sting out of a hitter's swing. I mean, he threw everything for strikes, constantly changed speeds, and kept the hitters off balance. And I think it was good for our pitchers to see, because sometimes, you know, some of them think that it's all about power. And I know there's guys in our dugout tonight that were watching thinking, gee, I got a better pure velocity than Daisuke does, but it's the whole package of what he brings. And it was great. It was fun to watch him pitch out of a jam in the first inning. You know, his poise, you know, just the whole arsenal. And then he was on cruise control until the pitch count went out after that. So it was good, and with a big crowd and in a meaningful game, it was great to see Wick, Seacrest, and Bay come in and close the door as they have pretty much throughout the season. So big win for us. I mean, now my gosh, we're down to 11 games to go, and we're one up. And you know, we had a meeting today, just a brief one, about how bad you can look, you know, when you're not on your game, as we did last night. But the great thing about baseball, as I told the guys, years ago I coached high school football, and when you lost a game like last night, you had to live with it for a whole week before you could redeem yourself and watch countless films of the agony over and over again. And in baseball, as bad as it was, it's only one game, and we're right back at it the next day, and we turn around and play a virtual perfect game on defense, great pitching, and timely hitting, and it resulted in a win. So I'm real happy for our guys.
And what a difference one night can make. Last night, a 14-4 defeat. Tonight, you guys had shutout baseball. It's a completely different result. Did it make your job managing a little bit easier, knowing that the game got out of hand early last night, and knowing that Daisuke Matsuzaka, a proven big leaguer, was going to get the start tonight?
No. I mean, I look at it this way. I mean, what it did last night is we got a chance to get. We have so many guys in our bullpen, 11, that we got a lot of pitchers, a lot of work yesterday. But you know, sometimes when you're having a bad day, it just compounds it. So we couldn't really do anything right yesterday. We dropped 2 pop-ups. We missed ground. We missed a double play, inning double play ball. We threw a ball away at first base. It was just one of those days. But today was back to kind of what has put us in the position where we've been a low-scoring team virtually all year. We've been about pitching and defense when we play good, and timely hitting. And tonight was all right there. And it was nice to see Pedro Perez and Michael Bernal. The bottom part of our lineup is what got us on the board. And then Tyler Moore, who has scuffled a lot this year but been doing much better of late, he drove in that was a huge second run. You know, because that kind of, in a game like that second run was very, very meaningful to us. And, you know, like I said, with Wick, Seacrest, and Bay, knowing that those were the dominoes we hoped to go with behind Daisuke, it fell right into line, and they all did a great job. And I think the crowd even took those guys to a little higher level, because there was definitely an adrenaline rush We thought Wick might go a little longer, but he was gassed after 2 innings because he was leaving it all out there.
And what goes into planning a rehab assignment from the Mets' perspective, going all the way down to the Cyclones' perspective, regarding managing, regarding just planning for the day ahead?
Well, the rehab is that we have a rehab specialist, John Debus, that handles all the Met rehabs. Him and Mike Herbst down in Port St. Lucie, Florida. So Daisuke's rehab started long before he got here, and in fact he had an outing at Binghamton, and we didn't know, the staff didn't know until just a couple days ago that he was going to come here. And so our job is really a simple one. They told us 75 pitches or seven innings, no more than 7 innings, but no more than 75 pitches, whatever came first. And he finished the 5th with the first inning he got into a jam and had a rather high pitch count. But then he was on cruise control, and he ended up with 72 through 5. And, Dave LaRoche watches his delivery to just make sure that he's doing the same thing all the time and nothing to favor anything or, anything that would. And of course, we check with him each inning that he come out to make sure that he's feeling good, And so everything went like clockwork, and I'm sure the New York Mets are pleased, and it'll be up to them to dictate to us or whatever team he's going to do his next rehab, and hopefully all of our jobs is to try to help get him back to New York.
How special was this one, do you think, for you and the team? You have to close out the year with the Yankees, so do you think this is a confidence booster?
Well, yeah, well, it's big because, when you're in a race like this and down to 11 games, we don't play Connecticut anymore. So Connecticut has to count on us, somebody helping them out because they can't do it themselves in terms of with us. But like I told the club the other day, Staten Island was 3.5 back at the All-Star break, which seems like a lot with just a few games to play, but the fact that 7 of them were against us, they were and still are very much in control of their own destiny. So, I mean, we have to make certain that we win our share of games against them to keep them at bay. And by getting a 2-game split, now at 3.5 with 11 to go, each day that we can win a game, it makes that number that mountain's a little harder for them to climb. If they'd have won tonight and got within a game and a half, then it's a dogfight. But we're taking them one at a time. And I told the guys in the meeting today, I said, have fun with this, because the next 11 days are going to fly by, and you're not fortunate every year of your career to play in a pennant race where every at bat and every inning that you pitch means something down the stretch, and here it does. So win, lose, or draw, have fun with it and thrive on it, because this is when it's fun. If both teams were out of the race, I don't think we would have had this kind of crowd and this much electricity in it, because it would have been just another baseball game and it would have been a rehab assignment for Dice. But the fact that there's so much more riding on it, you could feel the electricity in the park. We got a kick out of it on the bench, and believe me, the players certainly did too. So it was good all the way around.
Your swing's gotten a lot better during this playoff push. You had a home run yesterday. Today you had the RBI to complete the second run. Is there anything in particular that you've been doing that has been the key to your success, or?
Really, I mean, probably the biggest thing is just being myself and just relaxing. Kind of put a lot of pressure on myself in the beginning of the season, trying to perform and, trying to hit a 10-run homer every single at bat. It doesn't really work out when you're trying to do that. But now just trying to relax and not do too much and just be myself, do what got me here.
Did anybody say anything to you in the beginning just to get you to relax, or was it just more you just mentally saying to yourself, okay, now it's just time to? Oh yeah, man,
they were great with me and just great with being patient with me and kind of just letting me get out of my funk and really just adjust. And so they did a great job handling my adjustment and helping me keep my confidence.
The last 2 nights between the home run last night and today, was there any particular pitch that you were looking for, or were you just trying to be aggressive at the plate?
I'm just trying to be aggressive, really. Get a good pitch to hit and put a good swing on it. That's pretty much every at bat at this point. Is just trying to put a good swing on a good pitch.
What does it mean for you, and do you think the team, to have meaningful games and to be in the wild card chase right now?
Oh man, it's fun. Tom really, he talks about, having, not just playing out the schedule and having something to play for. And so, we love it. This is what baseball is about. It's playoffs and championships, so we're excited.
How fun was this crowd tonight, you know, with the rivalry game with the Yankees and the electricity?
Oh, it was awesome. You know, it was packed, and they were into the game the whole time, and that's what's special about Brooklyn is you know, these fans love it, and they're always into it.
I know it's going to be predominantly the Cyclones and the Yankees to head down to the final games. Does it make it any more special that the wild card is going to go down to the rivalry for you and the team, or do you think it's just going to be another game? Or what are your feelings on that?
Yeah, well, you know, at this point we're just trying to win ball games, and you know, whether we're playing Staten Island or any other team in the league, and so you know, we're just trying to come out and pitch well and hit well and put up more runs than they do.
Is there going to be any particular strategy? I think it's Tri-City tomorrow, so any particular strategy against them, or just continuing to be aggressive?
You know, I think you know, we've been scoring some runs lately, and we're just going to try to continue to do that. And our pitching staff has been phenomenal, and so you know, we expect them to go out and do what they've done all year, and so we're going to try to put up some runs for them.
I know you're more of an offensive guy, but do you think like you could still learn something from when you're like major league players like a Daisuke or Dylan G here at MCU Park? Do you still think that you can learn something from them? Or?
Yeah, definitely. You know, when guys like that come in, you just try to, you know, just see how they handle themselves, and you know, if you get a chance, just try to pick their brain a little bit. And you know, they've been there, they've done it, and so any little things of advice and just watching them play the game and how they handle themselves, it's a great experience to have them here.
Especially a guy like G, he started with the Cyclones and made his way to the Mets, so that had to have been especially special to see him and what he was able to do, right?
Oh yeah, that was awesome knowing that he was in our spot, and so seeing him kind of go up the ranks, and now he's a big leaguer. So you know, that could be any one of us, you know, in the next couple of years.